Hare Krishna, my name is Jvalamukhi Dasi. This is video number 39 in the J-File series of My Hoo-Hoo and the Destiny of the Universe, the Golden Age, the Great Sinister Movement, and the Firewalk of a Hare Krishna Kid. So today I am continuing where we left off in the middle of an entry from 2012. I believe it was in April of 2012. And I had just gotten interrupted with my last recording, so you can go back to number 38. This is number 39. And for those of you who are new, please read in the descriptions below what this is. It's my video blog of my journal of healing from satanic ritual abuse within the organized religion that the Hare Krishna movement unfortunately became. So the tenets of Krishna consciousness are universal. They are applicable to everyone. There's no such thing as a soul who is not a devotee of Lord Krishna. Some people know it and some people don't. So Srila Prabhupada came here to give all of us an opportunity to remember our relationship with the all-attractive Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that opportunity is what is known as Krishna consciousness, or reviving our original consciousness. So that mission or that movement was organized for the re-spiritualization of the entire world. And the organization, unfortunately, was attacked and infiltrated by the same demonic man-eating Rakshasa demons that are currently being exposed all over the world as being the puppeteers of many nefarious activities. But the golden age is upon us, the great awakening is upon us, and spiritual warriors are happy when fighting opportunities come unsought. So here we are in our daily consciousness battle to win over the forces of darkness within the battlefield of the heart. There are many implications with what I know and what has come out through my healing work. On one hand, I feel more whole, dynamic, purposeful, undaunted in the face of an ocean of doubters, and even blissful, seeing myself as an instrument in the Lord's hands. I pray often for purification, to be given the honor of being held as an instrument in his hands. On Gaura Purnima, the appearance day of Sri Krishna Caitanya Mahaprabhu, I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, worked on some project to sell at the festival to make some money so we could buy this property. I woke the children up for Mangal Artik, and I got there with my husband and tried to settle in for the japa period with 2 boys vying for my lap space instead of feeling happy to be free and being there doing the service with my loved ones. On Gaura Purnima, I found myself wrapped up in rage. I kept being patient, though, through it, but I had to go to the restroom a few times to compose myself. My husband noticed my anger, and he asked me about it. I told him I was breathing through it. I was visualizing killing a relative, someone who has harmed me very much, and one other. Sorry, I read that wrong. So I was visualizing killing so-and-so and one other in many ways over and over again slowly. So I'm just going to clarify that. So when you have been tortured and raped and abused in so many different ways, the natural human response is anger. And that covers the grief and all the soft feelings, because when you're angry, you can feel powerful, and it's part of the healing process to allow yourself to feel it. And it's not like I would act on anything, but somehow the mind has some satisfaction when you visualize taking them to the core, cutting them to the quick, and reducing them in your mind at least. So that is what I was doing on that day, and allowing the healing process to happen, because you can't artificially just forgive somebody if you haven't felt your feelings and gone through that process. Otherwise you die of anger, and it comes out in your body in so many different ways. So I was struggling with this anger and trying to get through it. So I briefly shared my feelings with another relative when he asked me how I was. I knew he would not expect what I had told him, and that he would feel uncomfortable with it. I was right. This one relative talks to the other relative that I'm very angry at regularly, and just avoids making any stand on the subject. It would cost him way too much to fully accept what I am saying, and he is afraid to go into his own heart. Is it fear, or is it something else? After being in the grip of intense fury, the kind that makes me fall asleep, literally, I prayed to Lord Krishna for release. After all, at what point of revenge would my heart feel satisfied anyway? I could kill them slowly forever and still remain furious. No, this is not my path. I want freedom and so much more. Then we went to go milk the cows with my family, and just being around the barn and the patient cows made me feel quite a bit better. Coming back to the temple, I saw 2 more people who again made my blood boil. I sat in the kirtan of Hare Prabhu and watched the Abhishek, or the bathing of the deities, with my 2 young boys sitting at the front watching. In that atmosphere, I placed my seething condition before my Lord and Master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the most merciful Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and I prayed to him. My dear Lord, on this day, the appearance of Lord Caitanya, Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the most merciful incarnation, certainly you are jubilant and are in a mood to give charity. It is understood that when a wretched beggar comes before a magnanimous wealthy person and asks for alms, that beggar should ask for something great and not just some small thing. After all, you are the most powerful, wealthy, full of all 6 opulences. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is impossible for you? You can give anything. Therefore, this of you I ask. I ask on this day, please, kindly remove all traces of envy from my heart. May I feel complete compassion, in no blame towards the instruments of my karma. I am in a suffering condition because of these things in my heart. Please, please release me. I want you more than I want anything else. Revenge, justice, so-called truth. I want out. Please allow me to feel myself the humble servant of those who have hurt me. Certainly, I am receiving only a small portion of my due. This you have so kindly revealed unto me. When I said this prayer, my heart felt pure like gold. I felt the beginning of that requested charity. This is my path. I was happy the rest of the day. I did not even pray to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, only to Lord Nityananda, for he is the savior of the most fallen. Now I hold on to that prayer, even when I am in the midst of trying to keep my busy life as a mother and a wife together. It is where I feel peaceful and right. And from that mood, I feel the pillar of my faith increase to the point I could take on the whole world if I had to. That will be the theme of my book, The Mood of This Prayer. I have to write it very, very soon. So that was in 2012. Here we are in 2025. Much has happened from here to there. There was a little song that came with that prayer around the same time. I will sing it to you just for your entertainment purposes. When will I be the servant of all whom I see? For then and only then will I be happy, 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 happy. When will deep in my heart humility start to guide the way I feel? But then will I be eternally free, and I'll be on my way home. I'll be on my way home. So I sing these to myself to remind myself of my heart's prayer. I have a lot of songs, and I sing them regularly for sanity and for release. And maybe one day I will get my album out there. Hopefully it's not as long as it's taking to get this book done, but coming very soon. As for coming to see Gurudev, I have some doubts. Dun, dun, dun. But Hare Prabhu said that when in doubt, don't. I am looking for complete understanding, and I don't feel convinced that he will be able to give it to me because of his relationship with his godbrothers. He sees everyone as the pure soul and does not like to see the coverings. Pause. So that's how I was thinking of it at the time, that Radhanath Swami was not willing to listen to anything about the abuse because he didn't want to see evil in anyone. That's how I was justifying it to myself. Of course, now I know better. But Krishna revealed his character slowly. So that's what I was thinking at the time. Now I know it's like when you approach the mafia boss and complain about one of the smaller criminals. That was the reality, but I didn't know that back then. So I continue and I say, if he, meaning Radhanath Swami, if he doubts me, I will feel crushed. I do not want that for my relationship with him. I will wait for some sign from Supersoul to speak to him. Now, I will just work on my songs and my book. And when they are ready, I can just hand him them and the manuscript and the album, and he will be given my whole heart to see, not just a short meeting. How will I be able to express to him the journey I am on in such a short time and make him understand what to speak of support me in any practical way, seemingly against his godbrothers? If he requests to see me, then that is different, but I doubt that he will. I am vulnerable, and at the same time, I know what my service is. No one can change that. I would rather die than doubt all that I have deeply imbibed and understood through the last year of my communion with Supersoul on Mahaprabhu's table and beyond. Though difficult to accept, it is the truth. Unfortunately, I do not have the, quote, evidence that they will be asking for. That is another reason I have doubts about telling Radhanath Swami more about my life. He will want proof. All I can offer him is the state of my being, and I am alone in this to date. I've made a series called But You Have No Proof. So this entry is from before I had that meeting with Radhanath Swami. And after the meeting with Radhanath, I was able to understand a lot more of where he stands and his situation and his implications. And many more have come forward also after I began speaking. Many others have contacted me. So here we are going to, I got my journal entries a little mixed up here. We went from 4:15:12 to 3:23:12. Excuse me. Shri Narasimhadev kindly appeared to me in my heart again today. His appearance and words are never ordinary, and this time was no different. I am still reeling with it. I am most fortunate. My previous session a few weeks ago was unusual in that I had no visual information. Basically, I was hearing a repeated Kali chant, and then a Nrsimha mantra rose of its own accord in my consciousness to drown it out. I understood from this that I need to regularly chant this mantra, chant my japa. So very, very important. 3 days ago, I was having a discussion with my husband on the theme of my book. They would mainly be for the sake of my own healing, for a history of the second generation, the Gurukulis, but mostly for some kind of social justice. I became passionate and angry on this point, and so he concluded that this was the real reason behind my endeavor. I felt very disturbed that evening, falling asleep, and during the night, when he went to cuddle with me, half asleep in reflex, I responded by unfortunately biting him and digging in my claws. It was a complete unintentional reflex reaction. In the morning, I asked him about it, and he said, yes, you bit me. I'm very sorry. He tolerates a lot. I'm very fortunate. So sometimes when people come back from war, they have a startle response from going from a complete state of being asleep. So when they're completely asleep, they go to being fully awake and in a fighting mode. So unfortunately, because of my PTSD and it opening up more and more through the healing process, I also had that going on. I would go from a deep sleep to attack mode. Um, I also know of another Gurukul. He said that he would sleep on a stick that had nails in the end of it, so that when he was unfortunately approached by other abusers, he could just wake up swinging his stick. So this material world is no place for a lady or a gentleman. And in this instance, I am very, very fortunate that I have a saintly person as my husband who is able to see me beyond the PTSD and to hold space for the healing, because all of us can come round right. All of us can come back to our innocence and our softness and our trust and vulnerability through this process of self-introspection, Krishna consciousness, this work that I was so beautifully taught by my beautiful spiritual master, Srimati Kamradevi. Tuesday morning into the afternoon, I was doing my best not to fall apart. I was seething with intensity around Mr. Beast. I was painting. Oh, okay, I was doing some construction work at Mahaprabhu's house, and she wanted to do a session for me then and there, but I wanted to finish my task and just wanted to be functional and not so emotional all the time. Wednesday, my appointment time, the first, I should probably, Wednesday, my appointment time, the first one, that's what it was, the first one in her new house. Wow, where to start? The crystals swept over me. Body starts to contract. My legs went into a pike. Great weight on my chest and throat. The energy called itself doubt and fear. I want to release this. We work at it for some time. My body responds, arms and legs fully flexed. The awareness comes that before I can release this doubt and fear energy, I need to know something. Open my heart in full vulnerability, my practice. Exquisite pain and connection, trust above all else. The scene unfolds. The words in that island language come shouted out. Beast was there at the end of that life in another body. He had betrayed us all. We were all dead or soon to be because of it. I knew what moved him. Piku, Picotto, the devil. I wanted revenge to the core, but not just on him for what he had done. I know I had been duped into doing horrible acts myself by the same energy that moved Beast. To his influence, Piku, did I want revenge. Utter annihilation of Mr. Beast and all that he stood for. I wanted it so badly. My desire was so intense. I expected the universe to move because of how intense it was. Just like the story of Srimati Tulsi Devi and her anger, causing universal disasters because of her great connectedness. They had to appease her to restore peace in nature. Similarly, my desire was so intense, I felt it. I feel it with every bit of my being. This is how I passed away in that body in the shaman life, with this burning desire. Thus, my present birth has brought me to this point. Revenge, utter annihilating revenge, not just termination of his useless body, but totally ripping the devil out of his Damien, away from his cowardly heart, and along with him all the others who he had corrupted and brought under the devil's influence. Revenge, ultimate revenge is what I wanted. Revenge that was so thorough that it looked like deliverance. The curse words hurled in rage, and the sobs of helplessness tore out of my heavy chest. This was all spoken in the now familiar language. I still don't know the translation of each word, but can clearly understand the emotion and the meaning behind them. At first, the words that came out in rhyme, I did not know their origin, but soon came to understand that the most merciful Lord was giving direction out loud, so I would be able to make no mistake of it. I forgot the 10 or so sentences that issued out of my mouth. I wish I had recorded it, but here are the most important ones. He needs trust to betray. His power will go when it you know. The revenge you seek is in the information you leak. It is he who will die. It is he who will die, repeated. Deep in love, divine, he is mine. The Lord was referring to Mr. Beast. This was his direction and reassurance to me. Taken. Now I heard the resonant sound of his voice asking, are you ready to give up fear and doubt immediately and completely? Yes, yes, I am. I am yours, my Lord, and whatever needs to be taken out of this wretched heart in order for it to become your abode, to do your service, let that be done. Again, I felt that complete force of being possessed and owned, moved by that supreme friend and awesome, all-knowing, powerful Lord. Offer obeisances to your spiritual master first, he said in a booming voice in my heart. I bowed down to her, and I heard pranams with her name inserted. He chanted in my heart and my head. She quickly moved away in deep embarrassment. Arise was the inexorable command, except this time it was aright. Even in that most intense situation, Lord Narasimhadev uses his sense of humor. I knew I needed a pen and a paper and that I was to sit at the table and not on the session bed. I was completely in the flow, listening, open, vulnerable, here, right. When the words stopped, so did my hand. There was no thinking or planning, just download. The result was this, simultaneously deeply profound, exhilarating, and devastating. I am almost afraid to write it here. When I read it back to Mahaprabhu at one point of this one sentence, I was attacked with the utter ominous fear, the force of sheer evil, Pikotu, Damien, the devil, Kali, the personification of degradation. At the exact time I felt the ether invade and burst through my being, I screamed the highest pitched scream at the top of my lungs, twice in reaction. Mahaprabhu also made a wail and sobbed quietly. This is the second time I have felt this. The first was when I saw the triangle with the eye, the first awareness of being abused in satanic ritual by the Illuminati members. Then the wash of cold fear ether seeping through my whole body instantly made me scream at the top of my lungs several times. This time was the same. Satan is real. I have met him. He is, however, also Krishna's servant, as you will see. This is what came out of my pen during that session. He was the one who stole my strength, my innocence, my trust, in whose image I trust. He was the one with the gift divine who did everyone's trust undermine. In the black of night, he did what he thought right. To maim and kill was his joy and thrill. When at last the power he did taste, his envy knew no disgrace. More, I want more, was his deepest, dear fear in others. Why, my heart did shout. What is this all about? The Bhutas knew, in fear and power they grew. He is ours, we have him. He is a puppet in our grasp. He will do any of our task. Now, they said, we want you to go, to build a temple where the blood will continuously flow. Insert sheer terror and scream here. Build it high, build it grand. On the spire we will. Build it now, and with it as our tower, we will be unstoppable. Build it, and then he will come. I'm going to pause there. I'm interrupting the flow of this poem. However, it was not clear. When the poem started, he is referring to beast. The people speaking are the dark energies or entities of Satan's minions that inhabit the physical beings. And what they are referring to is the building of the temple in Mayapur that is supposed to be the Adbhuta Mandir, the Great Astonishing Mandir. But in this download that I was getting from the personification of Kali, this is what he gave me. On the spire we will build it now, and with it as our tower we will be unstoppable. Build it, and then he will come, he meaning the Dark One. Then see what we will be the fun. Build it, have no shame. Build it, and then they will come in droves, the lambs to the slaughter, the sweet, sexy, innocent daughters to kill in sacrifice at will. Build, kill, kill. Why, I ask, he did say. He is referring to Mr. Beast. Never mind the answer. Do as I say. This is the devil speaking. Build, kill, kill. Through them we shall conquer. Through them we shall conquer. He is referring to our programmed second generation, was my sense on this one. Many of us have deep mind programming from birth, as millions of MK Ultra survivors do. And that is what this is referring to. Hell is foretold. Wait, said a voice, not so fast. Wait and see what I have planned. This is Shri Krishna Caitanya. So I listened and I heard, what will come of me if I decline? Said the devil. Death will come either way. Just do as I say. No, he said. Mr. Beast is saying, no, I will not. I do not want this plot. So there's some goodness in Beast's heart that says, I don't want this. The devil says, dare you defy? It is I, it is I to whom you've sold your soul. I who paved your path with gold. I who took away everything else. And it is I who will make your life a living hell. Mr. Beast, I don't want this. I don't want this anymore. I am tired and afraid and desire something else. The devil. Too little, too late. It shall be done. Make no mistake. I rule here. My dominion no one can claim. My domain, it is I who reign. I am supreme. There is no other. I am supreme. Devotion I smother. Mr. Beast. So what's next? How to change this circumstance? The devil. Pray, you fool, pray, it is the only way. Pray, and make haste. Pray, he shall you taste. He who will bring an end to this mess. He who gave you a chance. He who delivers us all. Unto him you must call. Call like you've never called before. Call as if you were going to even the score. Call to make everything right. Call and you will win this fight. In parentheses I wrote, see, he is a devotee after all. Means the personification of this age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Kali, or some people call him the devil. He is actually an agent of the Supreme Lord. No one can be separate or in competition with the Supreme Lord. And so he is actually showing that he is wanting the deliverance of the most fallen evil people. He doesn't, when people say the devil made me do it, that's sort of true and sort of not true. He gives the invitation and you could have your free will to take it or leave it. So he actually wants you to surrender to his master, Lord Shri Krishna Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And maybe in some future time, he will also be able to dance in the Lord's Sankirtan mission and have his heart be fulfilled, because everyone is praying to be free of his influence, but he is actually a very important part of the Lord's arrangement for souls to give up their desire to enjoy separately from the Lord. He makes the world such a hellish place that people start asking the real questions. Who am I? Why am I here? Why am I suffering? And how do I get out? So in this instance, even though Beast sold his soul to the devil so long ago, so many lifetimes he's been the puppet of the devil. In this instance, we see that this soul, somewhere deep inside his ugly heart, is desiring to get out. When you sell your soul to the devil, how do you get out? So here, the devil is actually saying, he's giving him the answer. Chant, you fool. Chant and pray like you've never prayed before. But if you fail to heed these words, free will keep you trapped in this hell, up and down and all around till the end of time. Find yourself. Now go, be with him. Now go, do as he bids, Lord Caitanya. Now go, be as you were, the pure soul. Now go, deliver. That is all I have to say. Start right now, do not delay. If you fail to heed these words, the temple of doom will surely be built. Da, 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 da. The end. Thus spoke the devil via Supersoul to me. My life is forever altered. Gone are the days of going to morning program and just being blissful. Gone are the days of casual conversations and devotee association. Gone is my trust in any of the ISKCON organization. Here to stay is my mission. After I had finished writing this and I read it to my teacher, and I already described her reaction in brief, needless to say, our worlds will never be the same again. In a state of shock and awe at what just came through, we sat there, eyes communicating volumes of understanding and the beginning of acceptance of our daunting task. I had to leave and attend to the rest of my mother and wife duties. I found it quite difficult to come back to, quote, normal consciousness. Mahaprabhu and I talked. What does this mean? The pit of my stomach dropped me to my knees, my face to the floor, feeling like I had to vomit up the intensity around beast. I felt very sick. It was like being nauseous but not being able to vomit, the kind of sick that one cannot escape from. And it had me. I thought that the download was done, but information was still coming. I heard names. I again found myself gliding to the floor, back against the wall for support. Whew, and here I can't say any of these names out loud, but a bunch of people higher up in the ISKCON organization. The names repeated themselves in my head several times, and my throat would not open. Some other important people who are innocent, they also knew, but they cannot say anything. Say it, shouted the Lord within. I shouted out their names to push the block that held my mouth and throat and chest shut with the gravity of the implications. My logical mind from some distance away told me, how could it be otherwise? The corruption and infiltration of Kali has been being weaved for quite some time now. Had Lord Nrsingadev not shown himself so obviously previously at this time as well, I would think it would be impossible. Now he is giving me a chance to act as his instrument, and this boggles my mind. Little tiny me, but not my heart. This is my fiercest desire, and now my path is clear. Now the time is right, and now we fight, now we chant, and now we pray. I left to pick up my boys from school and attend the luncheon at Krishna.com. I saw a friend on the way in and picked him up in the car and told him everything. He actually understands me. He's quite metaphysical. We are fellow warriors, or at least I thought. We are not afraid of dying on the battlefield. Well, maybe a little. And glory in the fight. After all, we are eternal, and there is no game over. After all, we are invincible. Where is question of defeat with Krishna on our side? He told me that when he was in India, some reader man there told him from looking at him that people from his organization would try to kill him, and that if they succeeded later on, they would build a statue honoring him. Funny. My funny brother. That evening, I put the kids to bed and began my japa at around 10 p.m. While chanting, I was impelled to write some more in the same listening, not thinking space. And this is what came out. This seems like an intro into telling my story. I need to end here. This has been a very lengthy video. Don't worry, the other one's coming. Don't mean to leave you on a cliffhanger. Thank you so much for listening. Hare Krishna.